Hey guys, Sword here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Dark Knight's Metal Gladiator Batman. Now technically, I think this is from Dark Knight's Death Metal, mostly because he rides the Joker Dragon, which is from Dark Knight's Death Metal, not the original Dark Knight's Metal, to my knowledge. I could be wrong, please correct me in the comments if I am. But of course, this is brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, who, like the Connell Kent Superboy video I did yesterday, late yesterday, they're going to remain fine folks, because for the most part, I'm very happy with this figure. I will say there's some looseness I'm going to address during articulation, but other than that, I really like this figure. I think he looks badass, and I'm very happy to have him. So, cutting right to the chase and getting into the meat and taters of this review, take a look-see at Gladiator Batman's lone accessory. He comes with a battle axe, which is a little gummy. It's got some flex to it up here, but for the most part, it's fine. It's got the handle there. You can hold on to it. Kind of looks like a bat. You hadn't noticed, because he's Batman. Get it? Haha. That said, putting that aside, it does come with a collectible trading card. It does, of course, have a bio on the back. Hold on. You see it? There we go. Just want to make sure I got the picture in there. He's riding the Joker Dragon, which I unfortunately do not have because I'm a schmuck and haven't bought it yet. But, turning on my reader.
Gladiator Batman TM, Dark Knights, Metal TM, Data File, Real Name, Bruce Wayne TM, trapped on Mongo's planet Warworld. The remaining members of the Justice League have been bound by special armor that strips them of their powers. They are forced to fight any monster machine, or abomination that Mongo can throw at them in his gladiatorial arena. Each machine they were pit against is built to counteract their skill set. However, Batman Forever the Detective realized that inside his opponent's mouth was a button bearing his symbol. The toy maker, a captive of Mongo, had created the machines with a failsafe. When pressed, the machine absorbs their respective Justice League member and conjoins the machine, so a massive mech piloted by the members then had discovered toy maker's true intentions as to help them and trick Mongo out of OC Multiverse. Blame me.
And there you go. Started to read something else there, but pretty interesting. So the toy maker, whatever, was involved with old Gladiator Batman here. Curious if we'll get other members of the Justice League like this, because we got Gladiator Superman, but I think he was from Future State, if I'm not mistaken. He wasn't from Dark Knight's Metal, so very curious about that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, also this is what happens before Batrocidus and the remaining Dark Knight's Metal team members get wasted by that zombie Jonah Hex. So the plot thickens. I'm gonna have to do some research on Death Metal, because I know a lot about the Dark Metal stuff, but I didn't follow up with the prequel series Death Metal, or what was it, Speed Metal? It was one with all the flashes, right? So taking a closer look at Gladiator Batman. He, of course, comes with a hockey puck display stand. We used to see him with all McFarlane Toys releases. And just look at this guy. He's got a nice sculpt. Very nice sculpt. He looks tough. He looks like he ain't taking crap from nobody. Looks like he's about to shit out Sparta and kick someone off a cliff. But, I really like this figure, man. I think he looks cool. I'm not gonna lie. He looks really freaking cool. So, as far as articulation on this guy goes, however, his head can look up a little bit. It's hindered by the helmet, but you can get it to look up. Get it to look down. Get it to tilt side to side, rotate. It's okay, that's just tight. It's not like stressing or anything. Shoulders can go up. The pauldrons will get in the way, but of course you're meant to tuck them over the cape. I assume the cape is attached to those, and the chest plate here. He's got a bicep twist, which that pauldron can rotate on as well. It's typically how they do pauldrons in this line. He's got a pretty decent rotator cap joint there. You can shift all around. got a double elbow. He's got the ball hinge wrists. I have this side going up and down. I think I have the other side going in and out. Yep. No alt hands for this guy. I would have liked some fists maybe, but yeah, it is what it is. Pretty decent cape. It is pliable to an extent, but it is a little heavy. And I will tell you, look at this. He does have a bit of weeble wobble to him in the torso. And that freaking sucks. So I'm going to have to fix that. That is unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. That is sloppy loose. That is pretty bad. He can crunch forward, however. He can crunch back. It's not bad in the midsection. I managed to tighten that up somewhat. And then he can tilt side to side and, of course, rotate. But, you know, it's not ideal. I mean, it's staying there for the most part. But, yeah, it's not a good torso joint on mine. It kind of feels like it's not hollowed out all the way or something. That said, he does have a waist that can twist. And that does tilt back and forth a little bit, side to side. His hips can kick out, back, down, forward, back. Fortunately, not as tight as Superboy's. They are not loose, though. Pretty decent. He actually has, on top of the thigh cut, like, right up in the hip joint there, he does have an actual thigh cut down here. And it's hidden by the armor, so that's nice. He's got double knee. That works pretty well. All these spikes and things are soft plastic, so you don't gotta worry about them getting in the way. And then he's got the ball hinge ankles. This side's a little loose. But he does have the rocker and the swivel and then the toe joint in the front there. Which is appropriately placed. But very, very tight, so careful with that. Yeah, this ankle is pretty decent. So why don't we get his battle axe in his hand here. If I can do that quick. It's a little tricky to get in there, but not too difficult. There. Because we're going to compare this guy to a couple other really cool Batmen, one of which I am going to get around to reviewing. So stay tuned for that, I guess. But you probably want to know what that is, huh? Be patient. Give me a minute. I'm going to adjust the figure here. But there's our Gladiator Batman. Looking really cool. It's just unfortunate mine's a little loose in the torso, but again, I have the ability to replace him and see how that goes. You know, I did it with the, I don't know if I mentioned it, but my Red Tornado had something similar going on. It wasn't as bad, but it was bad enough. I was like, yeah, I need to do something about that before it's too late, so there you go. I just gotta straighten him out. That's probably good enough, huh? Maybe a little more. Just trying to center these. This pain right in the doink. I don't know why I can't ever seem to do it. Maybe I should put a piece of tape right in the middle. That way I can just set them on that piece of tape and be like, BAM! There you go. Nice and centered. But either way, that is Gladiator Batman in a nutshell. So with that being said, let's move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is Gladiator Batman alongside two more badass Batman variants from the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line / DC Direct Page Punchers, but who can really tell the difference, right? First up, we got the Dark Knights of Steel Batman, who's kind of a knight / paladin, for those of you Dungeons & Dragons fans out there. And then we have the Cave Bat, the Barbarian Bat, from the Fighting the Frozen Page Punchers wave. These three look awesome together. Like, I have this goal to have a team of savage medieval style Batman figures, and right now we're already at 3, so I think a Viking Batman is due. I think we're overdue for that, and maybe Witchfinder General Batman. I know that was a thing at one point, right? That said, I know people are sick of Batman, but when they look this cool, that's when I don't really have a problem with it. Getting them out of the way. And you'd probably think all 3 of these were built the same, right? Wrongo. The Dark Knights of Steel here. Bit of a teaser. The torso is kind of like the rubber overlay on top of like a tube piece that goes from the upper torso to the waist. A lot of 2022 figures had that. So very interesting indeed. So this of course would not be one of my reviews without bringing in the Mythic Legion's brother Mandibulus, or the infamous 11 Spawn, which you need a Gladiator Spawn, man. That'd be kind of cool. As far as height goes, Gladiator Batman's actually a little taller, isn't he? Just by a hair. Here up his chinny chin chin. He don't even have a Warhawk going on, but he's a slightly taller figure in this line, so that's very interesting indeed. But you can see he works well with Legions. He has kind of similar armor to Mandibulus there with the gauntlets and the boots and whatnot. But yeah, man, I dig it. So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the kind of loose and weeble wobbly upper torso on my particular figure, again, I haven't heard that as being a problem across the board with good old Gladiator Batman here, but buyer beware, I guess. I do still really like this figure, so much so it made my voice crack. That's how much I like this figure. Why, you might ask? Well, if you hadn't paid attention this whole time, first of all, shame. Second, I don't know, maybe because it's cool look for the character, maybe because it's Mythic Legion's adjacent, maybe it's because I'm a moron, but at the end of the day, I like me some wackadoo Batman variants, and this one definitely checks all the boxes. That said, it's my preferred flavor of wackadoo Batman variants, being a medieval badass as opposed to just, I don't know, a blue suit instead of a black suit, or a gray suit instead of a blue suit. You know, a little bit more interesting. Very interesting, my dear. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.